Hey guys, just enjoying some Bertie County honey roasted peanuts here. Thanks for taking this tailgate tasting home with you. For those of you who are there with your friends, if your friends haven't given you these, make sure they give you some of these. These are great. This comes in this tasting kit. Best peanuts ever. Love those honey roasted. You also get some other stuff in this. First thing we're gonna get, we got a cherry balsamic grilling sauce. So if you guys have grilled out for this tasting, which you probably should have because it is a tailgate tasting, this stuff is great on salmon, tuna. I love this on any kind of fish. It just goes so well with that. Just blaze that on there a little bit. You'll love it. But I'll tell you the one I like a little bit better than that you got in your tasting kit. This is our sweet bourbon glaze. I mean, it just makes my heart patter just saying that. This thing is so good. I like this in burgers, on steaks a little bit, glazing on a steak. Ribs, it's awesome on, but on your burgers, it's good on top of it. But before you make the burgers, mix some of that in the burgers and then cook them. Keeps them moist. You get a little bit of heat, but you taste that bourbon. This stuff is great, man. So that's in your kit too. If you're the host, make sure you make some of those burgers for these guys if you didn't this time. But now let's get to these stars of the show here. It's fall, late summer, early fall. You're going to some football games. Maybe you're going to your favorite concert. You're sitting out in the parking lot. What are you doing? You're tailgating. Sometimes you got beer, sometimes you got liquor. I say you should go with wine. And we got some great wines here for a tailgate party. We're going to jump right into it. First thing we're going to try, this is one of our newest wines. This is called Muscadine Moscato. Now, I'm telling you right now, as far as we know, the research we've done, we haven't found any other winery that has blended a Muscadine and a Moscato. And I'll tell you what, these wines were made for each other. Those grapes blended together. We're going to taste this. And you're going to smell that muscadine, 100%. But I'm going to tell you what that Moscato is going to do. It's going to take the bite off the end of that muscadine. It's going to really smooth that finish out. You don't get some of that bite that you do in some of the other muscadine wines. We had that skin taste, which I happen to love. But some people like it a little bit more mellow, and this really does that. So let's give this a taste. Cheers, guys. Just goes right down. So smooth, so smooth. You guys like this? I'm going to tell you a secret. We've got another one of these, so it's not in this kit, but we do have one called Southern Miss that is this Muscadine Moscato, but it's a sparkling Muscadine Moscato. So check that out too. And if you like mimosas, take that one, add a little bit of pineapple juice to it. It's to die for. This one I just get as cold as I can. It's a great late summer, early fall wine. You're sitting there watching a football game. You'll love it, I'm telling you. So that's our Muscadine Moscato. Our next wine that we're going to try, though, this is one of our Scuppernong wines. This is called the Mother Vine Scuppernong. Now, this wine here, it's got a nice story to it, a nice backstory. If you guys never heard of the Mother Vine is a vine, a Scuppernong vine in Manteo, North Carolina, somewhere around 500 years old. Oldest Scuppernong vine known in North America. So what happened about 15 years or so ago, that vine got weed killer on it because they were spraying some of the poles around that vine. Well, we sent some of our guys from our winery, some of the other wineries did the same thing. We got that vine, saved it, and the gentleman who owned that vine let us buy some of those cuts from that original mother vine. So we took them back there in Rose Hill and we planted them. And over the course of the last 15 to 20 years, we've got about 3 acres of this mother vine in Rose Hill, North Carolina. And we take those grapes and we make a to die for Scuppernong wine every year out of those grapes. So we're going to taste this. And if you've never had Scuppernongs, they're actually the state fruit of North Carolina. Our house Scuppernong, great wine, but this one goes above and beyond any of the Scuppernongs that we have also in our winery. Cheers, guys. Oh, it just smells like, oh, it smells like those vines. it goes down so easily. You guys, love this wine. This goes really well if you're doing some sort of fish. I really like this with more of a tuna. Super well with tuna. I also like it with salmon, but really love it with tuna. But that's our Mother Vine Scuppernong. Cool story about that. You guys, you're going to love this one. All right, what do we have next? Oh, yes, our Pelican Red. Now, both of these that we've just done, our Muscadine Moscato and our Mother Vine Scuppernong, those are both around a 10 to 11% sugar content. So they're very sweet. So this is one for some of you out there who may not like such sweet wines. You want something a little less sweet, a little more dry. This is our Pelican Red. And I'm going to tell you something about this. If you ever had our Black River Red and you like our Black River Red, but you want something just a little bit less sweet, this is the wine to go for. This is only about a 7 to 8% sugar content. It's got some of our muscadines in there, but it's also got a grape in there that's a non-muscadine. It's called the Pink Catawba. And I'll be honest with you, some of my favorite wines of ours are ones where we take some of our muscadine wines and blend them with some non-muscadine wines. Because some of the non-muscadine wines with those muscadine wines, they just marry so well together and just complement each other that, you know, the compliments are just almost embarrassing. They're complementing each other so well. So this is called Pelican Red. It's only about a 7 to 8% sugar content. So that's right there in the middle. Great smell on this one. I love that smell. Again, you get the muscadine smell on most of those, but I love that muscadine smell. So guys, cheers on this one. You're gonna like this if you like a mid-sweet. You can definitely taste the difference in the sugar levels there. That one, I get more of that muscadine grape taste than I did in the muscadine Moscato. So if you like a really nice muscadine taste, this is the one to go with without quite all the sugar. So we're gonna close that one up. And now this next wine, this is called Sippin' Sweet Muscadine. It's in a mason jar, but I'm gonna tell you what, this is not moonshine. All right, we don't make moonshine. This is our muscadine wine, and we made this because we wanted to kind of show you how we started out. We've been around since the 70s, and when we first started out, starting out as a fledgling winery, you're not 100% sure how well you're going to do. Are you going to make it? You're not going to make it. So you don't want to spend a lot of money on bottles, right? So we went to one of the guys there in Rose Hill, North Carolina. His name's Bruce. Bruce, if you're watching this, what's going on, man? He works with us there in Rose Hill still, but back in the day, he used to own the hardware store there in Rose Hill, North Carolina. And what Dave and Dan did, our original owners, Dave and Dan Fussell. Now, here's the other story about this. Dave Sr., his sons Dave Jr. and Jonathan own our winery now, so it's still family owned by the Fussells. The name Duplin, that's our county we're in, Duplin County. So that's where the name came from. Anyway, let's go back to what I was talking about. You've got Bruce there in town who owns the hardware store. So Dave Sr. goes up to Bruce. He goes, Bruce, I'm going to start this winery. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on bottles just in case, you know, it doesn't go that great. So Bruce says, listen, man, I'm going to tell you what. I'll give you some mason jars, and you can start in mason jars, save you some money, but you got to give me at least a case a week, you know, if I'm going to do this for you. So that's what they decided to do, and lo and behold, that's how we started out, in these types of mason jars. Probably about this size at that point in time. The ones we have now are a little bit bigger, but I wanted to show you what they kind of start out as, just a little bit smaller. The ones you guys got, they're a little bit bigger. Now this to me, out of all the wines we have, this to me tastes most like a muscadine right off the vine. I grew up in North Carolina. As a kid, we'd go running through the woods and we'd be playing and we'd find these grapes growing in the trees. And guess what? This is what it tastes like. That wine takes me right back to my childhood when I was a kid. Jumping in the creek, picking those muscadines, going home because I ate too many of them. And my stomach's upset a little bit, but I can't stop eating them. But that's the Sippin' Sweet Muscadine. One of my top 5 favorite wines, by the way. So now we're going to switch it up a little bit. And we're going to go to our only 100% fruit wine. This is called blackberry wine. This is made from 100% blackberries. They're is no grape in this whatsoever. There's no muscadine grape. We get these from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Those blackberries, they get shipped in. We crush them just like we do our grapes. Now, the taste in this is going to be interesting. You're going to get a sweet taste at first, but just like a blackberry, when you bite into a blackberry, you get that sweet juice. And then as you're eating that, you get kind of that seed taste, kind of that earthy taste. That's kind of the finish on this. Not like dirt earthy, but just that, just natural. You're outside, you're camping. I remember actually going out and picking blackberries when I was a kid with my dad and mom. And we go out there in the woods, because we go get them out in the woods. We didn't actually grow them. They were just growing out in the wild. And this one takes me back to that. I get that blackberry taste in this. I hope you guys do too. Cheers. Mm. There it is. I got that sweet at first. That seed, that natural, just earthy taste kicked right in. Tastes just like a blackberry. I'll tell you what you can do with this also. Not only can you drink it, it makes a heck of a milkshake. You like milkshakes? Add a little bit of this to that milkshake. You got an adult milkshake, a blackberry adult milkshake. If you thicken it up a little bit, add some sugar, thicken it up, it's a nice syrup you can put on ice cream. So that's two things you can do with this outside of just drinking it. Now our last wine. This is our newest wine. This is a great end of summer wine. It's called Orange Blossom. Now what this is, we've just opened up here in Panama City Beach, Florida. That's where I'm at right now. Sitting on the tailgate of this truck there that we got in Panama City Beach. And this just screams Florida. This is our Orange Blossom wine. And I like this because it's not, it doesn't kick you in the teeth with the orange. The orange in this is very subtle. It's not like you're drinking a Fanta or anything like that. You're going to get a muscadine taste at the beginning of this. You got a little bit of our white wine muscadine grapes and a little bit of our red wine muscadine grapes. More of our white wine. That's why it's kind of a light blush. And then the hint of orange on the end of this. Now this is a sparkling wine. So this is a good one if you like mimosas. Add some orange juice to this. You got a nice orange juice mimosa. You've got a nice citrus smell in this. And I'm telling you, it's like you're walking through an orange grove. It really is. This is a great, great wine. So we're just going to try it. I'm going to stop talking and we're going to try it. So cheers, guys. That muscadine and then that orange just comes in right at the end. Just that smooth finish of the orange. And I'll tell you one thing right now. If you like this wine, go check out our Facebook page or Instagram pages. We did a dining wine with this, and we did an orange Julius, where we made an adult orange Julius with this wine. I'm not going to tell you how to make it because I want you to go check out that video, and we tell you how to make it on that. You're going to love it. I'm telling you right now. This is a great cold wine. Get all these wines as cold as you can. It's going to be hot this fall. You know it is, unless you're, especially if you're in the Southeast. If you're in the Southeast, it's going to be hot. You can be watching football games. You can be out there listening to some music, sitting on your porch. These are just some great tailgate wines. But wait, there's more. Not only do you get all these great wines with this tasting kit, you also get this awesome Duplo Winery stainless steel tumbler. It's got a drawing of our chapel on there, and it's going to keep your wine extra cold. And it even comes with a straw for if you're doing slushies with them, our sweeters. You're going to love it. Guys, I want to thank you for joining us for this tailgate tasting. I hope you enjoyed these wines as much as I did. Don't forget these birdie peanuts either. These birdie honey and roasted peanuts, they are the bomb. I'm going to eat the rest of them. You guys have fun. We'll see you on the other side.